Here we go. Welcome to Santiago de Compostela, the end of the Camino for many pilgrims, and where we should see today Primoz Roglic wrap up his third straight Vuelta España title. Now there are others on the podium too battling, including Enric Mas, including Jack Haig, and we saw promising but struggling Egan Bernal in this Vuelta España, and Sepp Kuss just trying to be a GC rider. And further back, left along the Camino, not making it here to Santiago, were riders like Superman Lopez and of course Richard Carapaz. So looking back over the 3 weeks, what does this 2021 Vuelta España, the last Grand Tour of the season, tell us for the upcoming 2022 season? What have we learned over the last 3 weeks? What lessons will we take into the following year? Well, to find out, I'm going to the finish of today's time trial, 33 kilometers up here in Spain's far northwest of Galicia, to talk to the riders.
This has been some of the most fun I think I've ever had racing a bike, and glad to make it to Santiago with the boys. You know, for years it kind of got monotonous where it was the same winner and you know, the same style of, okay, we're just going to ride until everyone's dropped at the finish of the day, and now we've seen the level get so high that, you know, people are having to just throw Hail Marys to do anything they have. And we saw that yesterday, you know, 60K to go on not even a mountainous stage. The race absolutely shattered, and a lot of shakeups in the overall, and I think that bodes well for the future of the sport.
Yeah, Jack, I think, surprised everyone. I was really happy to help him because he's really good road captain, and he trusts us, we trust him, and what I saw on all Vuelta, I think today he will finish on podium.
Now check it out, this is the Vuelta España mixed zone right over my shoulders. You see Quinn Simmons being interviewed. He just finished his first Grand Tour. But let's talk about some of these GC riders and what we've taken away from this Vuelta España. Primoz Roglic and Jumbo Visma. Primoz Roglic, I think, is now ready to go back to the Tour de France and take it on. And Jumbo Visma, despite tactical mistakes, are becoming stronger and stronger in the Grand Tours, and they pulled it off here in the Vuelta España. So barring crashes, barring end of race bonks, Primoz Roglic can win the Vuelta España, and he needs to because he's getting older and those younger guys are coming through. He's going to be 32 later this year, so next year in 2022 he needs to strike, because even his own teammate Jonas Vingegaard's coming up. Tadej Pogacar's, of course, already won 2 tours, so Primoz Roglic needs to win, and needs to win now. Sepp Kuss, we have question marks still remaining on his GC abilities, and those need to be clarified over the winter. Of course, won a stage in the Tour de France, did well here, but he's up and he's down, still coming through and being a super domestique, but can he be a Grand Tour rider? Now let's talk Team Movistar, because right over there is team boss Eusebio Unzue, and he leads the team, and they were nearly set to get second and third overall in this Vuelta España, but everything turned up on its head yesterday in stage 20. Superman Lopez, he was third overall and then got dropped, cracked, and left the race, quit the race. Enric Mas, he's going on to second place overall, and he should be applauded because he finished 6th overall in the Tour de France. Last year, 5th in the Tour de France, and 5th in the Vuelta España. So a great team with great riders, but they need to fine-tune the Movistar engine, and Eusebio will need to do that over the off-season for 2022 with those boys if they want to win a Grand Tour. I had to get out of that journalist mix zone. It was pretty stuffy in there. Let's talk about Team Ineos, Egan Bernal, Richard Carapaz, and Adam Yates. Now, Egan Bernal rode a promising Vuelta España. You know, he had some back problems. He had coronavirus after the Giro d'Italia win, and he came into this Vuelta and he did quite well despite not getting on the podium. It bodes well for the Tour de France next year. However, he needs to get back in there because there are younger guys coming up and he's going to have his challenge. Richard Carapaz, he came to the Vuelta a España after finishing third on the podium in the Tour de France, won the Olympic road race, and then here at the Vuelta was just too tired, and that's under, oh, this is nice, the Santiago sun. And then he was too tired, and that's understandable for Richard Carapaz. I kind of think, and the rumor is that after the 2022 year, he's going to find a new team. Adam Yates, well, that's a question mark. He was due to initially lead this Vuelta a España team for Ineos early on in the season. He rode quite well, had a crash in the Vuelta a España, showed a lot of fight, especially even in stage 20, but question marks still remain whether or not he can ever be a Grand Tour challenger. Now, one last thing before I get back over there to the mix zone and interview the rest of the riders. Team Bahrain Victorious, let's talk about them. Jack Haig, Gino Mader, and Mikel Landa. Mikel Landa, well, forget about it. I don't think he's ever going to race another race in Bahrain Victorious colors. The Vuelta didn't go well for him, and he quit the race midway through. Gino Mader, he helped Jack Haig get on the podium in the Vuelta a España, won the white jersey as best young rider, and he's got a big future ahead of him. So too does Jack Haig. Sure, he's a little bit old at 27 years, but he came late to the sport. And think about it, before this, his best place was a 4th overall in Paris-Nice, and his biggest win was a stage win in the Tour of Poland. So Jack has much room for improvement. He told us the other day that he's yet to even do wind tunnel testing on a time trial bike. And so think about it, if he works on a few little details, he's gonna come back into 2022 and be even more of a polished gem. But that's all. Now I gotta get back to that mix zone.
We saw a really strong, we had an unfortunate tour, but we saw a really strong team, and combine that with the force of Primoz, and now we saw Jonas step up. Wout, I think we can also bring a really nice race there, and in the end, I guess we'll try again. Yeah, Jack was funny. We trained, we ran into each other a couple of times in Andorra training, and we were talking about him at first not even going to the Vuelta. We broke our collarbones at the same day in the tour, so we were in touch a lot. It was always like a competition in between who recovered quickest. In the end, I was quicker on the bike, but he was in way better shape than me here in the Vuelta. So he won.
I learned about the suffering. I think I have suffered a lot in this Vuelta, but at the same time I enjoyed a lot. Yeah, I mean, I think in every race you learn something, so hopefully it will be good for the next year. I would like to come back to the Tour one day. I don't know if it will be next year or what, but yeah, hopefully I will be back.
Check it out, it's the end of the Vuelta a España. Everybody's partying, it's a festa. What did we learn from talking to all the riders here at the Vuelta a España on the final day, reflecting on the final 3 weeks and looking ahead to 2022? Well, anything and everything is possible. And I like what Lawson Craddock said out there, talking to him in the mix zone. He says that this bodes well for cycling because we see a lot of fresh faces up there battling in the GC, battling for stages every day. It's not the same riders, and so we have an exciting future ahead of us. And this Vuelta showed that here these last 3 weeks in Spain.